What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big Nard coming to you live and direct again. If y'all hear a little static in the back, it's me driving. I wanted to get this interview done, so I had to adapt to my circumstances and my environment. I want to start out by saying thank you for all the support on the last episode, as well as the bonus episode off the porch. I appreciate all the love and support y'all showing me. And I just ask that y'all continue to subscribe, continue to listen, continue to give me feedback, like I always say. My Twitter is @ProsVols, capital P, capital V. Anybody that got a Twitter, follow me, shoot me a message, shoot me a question, shoot me a topic matter, whatever you think, you want to do. Like I say, everything we do is organic. I don't do like 2 takes or anything. Everything I do, I hit record and I record. Good, bad, and ugly. Like, I don't go back and change things. I want y'all to hear everything authentic. Well, today, I'm coming to you for the part 3 of the How Much series. And today we're going to be discussing social media. How much social media? Now I know that social media is at the forefront of everything and anything that everyone does these days. So that's why when I was going over the series and, the things I wanted to add, social media was one of the first things that popped in my mind. That would be a good topic to have of how much in the How Much series. So I got a very, very, very special guest today. Also the reason why I'm driving. My baby girl is in the car with me and I'm taking her back to college. I had to pick her up because she had to come home to go to the dentist. And I thought, who better to talk to than a freshman in college, 18 going on 19, grew up in the social media era. So who better to talk to than this smart, intelligent, lovely, going places woman who just happened to be a big advocate for social media. So with no further ado, I want to introduce you to my wonderful, incredible, and talented, intelligent daughter, J Boogie.
Hey everybody.
So my daughter is, like I said, an advocate of social media. J Boogie, tell the people how many social media accounts you have.
I have 1 Snapchat, 1 Facebook, and 2 Instagrams.
Okay. Now that's a lot, but I've heard more. And the reason it's interesting to me is because I don't have any social media. I've never had any social media, and I'm not one of those people that's just going left for the sake of going left or anything like that. I find it to be intrusive to a certain degree, so it always kind of made me a little standoffish in doing so. I wouldn't say I'm the most private person in the world, but I like certain things to be kept to myself. And sometimes I feel like social media could just be a platform for people to judge you or to size you up. And once I saw that, it even kind of more turned me off to it. So, Jada, with your experience in social media, and by the way, another reason I wanted to speak to her because I always tell her she's a horrible friend. And I honestly believe that social media is the reason that these kids nowadays have these paper friendships. And what I mean by paper friendships is ball them up and throw them in the garbage when you feel like you have no more use for them. There's no follow through on the friendships, and I think it's because social media has affected all the friendships, just like a lot of different things. Because people take, stuff you post and they start taking it to heart like you meant it about them, or they size it up and try it on for themselves. And I wasn't even thinking about you. But the way they interpret it is, oh, you was taking a jab at me. So Now, Jay Boog got like 6,200 followers, right?
Yeah.
So tell the people how 6,200 followers, and do you know any of these 6,200 people?
I don't know all 6,200, but the people that follow me are the people that support me. So I know that they wouldn't follow me if they didn't want to see what I was up to or what I was doing in general. I don't think of it as them being nosy. I just think of them as supporting me.
I don't even talk to 62 people on a regular. So 6,200 is just, hard for me to wrap my mind around, because out of those 6,200 people, I got to believe somebody in here sizing me up with a negative mind frame. So out of those 6,200 people that you have, how often do you get feedback or responses from those people on a daily?
Well, on Instagram, there's a feature where you can post questions, like a question thing where they can ask you questions, or whenever you post anything, they can comment on it. And I actually get a lot of feedback. I get a lot of likes, a lot of comments, people telling me what they want to see from my page, people telling me that they love my page, how it's helped them in their personal life and things like that.
So now, do you think that social media is more for your ego? Because what I've come across is people, the more followers that they have, the more they feel like they're like a internet sensation, so to say. And it boosts their ego, and they feel like I got X amount of followers. So, what is the whole point of having that many followers? And I'm not speaking to you who post inspirational type things. I'm speaking to just people in general that maybe do it for the gram, or whatever they do, and retake my story, peek my snaps or whatever. They're showing maybe the sexy photos or the different negative things.
I think people use social media as a way to get themselves out there. Then as soon as they are out there, they try to change who they were to first get them out there, if that makes sense. Because, like you said, you don't talk to 6,200 people, so how are you going to reach 6,200 people? So they make that Instagram or that Snapchat or something to get themselves out there. Then after that, then that's when their ego goes up, or they start to change who they are to keep these same people satisfied, even though they don't know them.
But how do you let somebody you don't even know dictate how you move? How do you let somebody be an architect in your life and you don't even know them? That's one of my negative things about social media. I feel like we give these people ownership of the way we move and the way we do things. So how do you prevent that when you heavy in the social media field like you?
I don't. With me, I was always raised to not care what people think about me. So I can post. Good girl. So I can post and do as I please and not care what others they think about it. But other people, they weren't raised the same way as I was. So if they see that if they do something good, then everybody gonna like it. Or even like the bad kids in school, they see every time they do something bad, people, they laughing at them and stuff. So they gonna keep doing that same thing to keep those same people laughing at them, thinking that they actually like them. Really, they laughing at them, not with them.
So what you're saying is social media be putting batteries in people's backs.
Yeah.
In a good and a bad way.
Yeah.
I guess I could see it, but at the same time, even the people that wasn't raised a certain type of way, certain stuff better to be doing or posting, on your social media. Let's talk a little bit about the Snapchat, which people always posting stories. What's the whole point of these stories?
I'm not really a big Snapchat head. I post I only post whenever I'm with my family on Snapchat. But I think Snapchat is more of like Instagram, you can post past pictures and stuff. Snapchat more of what I'm doing currently, what I'm doing right now. So I'm about to see the Snapchat of what I'm doing, if I'm cooking, if I'm cleaning, if I'm with family, like I said. It's just a current way to keep people up to date with you.
So now, how has this social media and what I said earlier about how people take your posts and things and try them on and maybe have low-key beef with you that you ain't even know about, how has that affected you, seeing as you're a terrible friend anyway?
I don't think I'm a terrible friend, but I know what you mean by like, yeah, if you in person and you talking to somebody and y'all have a disagreement and then you go home and post something that's somewhat like that situation, then they're gonna be like, oh, they talking about me. Now there's this beef that you didn't even know there was beef, but there's beef because you post something that's somewhat like it. I think people, they just take what you post and run with it, and it don't have nothing to do with them.
But is it really beef? Because I think if you know a person went through a certain situation and you post anything that's loosely based on that, you was taking a jab.
I don't think so, though, because
why would you be that insensitive, or why would people be that insensitive to do it if you wasn't taking a low-key jab at that person?
Sometimes you do stuff unconsciously. So, like, you just making a general post. It's not about that person. But if they that insecure and thinking that it's about them, and then if the shoe fits, then wear it. But if it's not about them, then it's not about them.
See, y'all, this is the problem. No more schoolyard brawls. Everybody take it to the ground or take it to Facebook. See, this the whole problem with it, you know. And this is my reason for always kind of staying clear of it to a certain degree. Now, I definitely started the social media to promote the show and things like that, but I don't want to get into too much of the riffraff that goes along with the social media, because I see a lot of people get a lot of good attention off of it, but I see so much negative attention that it draws. Tell the people how many friendships you've lost, or the rocky points y'all had to go through just off of social media posts, even though y'all might have been together all day. And why is it so hard to communicate in person, but it's easy to put everything on social media? Why is your generation like that?
I think my generation, I don't know why my generation is the way, like, they see it's easier to post things other than to speak on it. But to me, it's just you being scared. Like, you know, if you're in, like, you with that person face to face, you scared of their reaction. So you're not going to say it to them.
So you feel like it's a way of masquerading how you feel to do it on the gram or do it on Facebook or post a snap about it than it is to do it with the person face to face?
Yeah, because sometimes this isn't me, but for them, sometimes you don't want to fight, like, so you want to do it over social media.
But it's more greasier when you do it on social media. It's way more greasier in my mind.
But there's no, the way that you grew up, y'all fought everything out though. Like, with
not even necessarily fall out, but I think you could come back from having an argument or a disagreement with somebody, and it's between y'all two or between a few people, and then working it out or letting a couple of days go past, and then y'all able to find common ground. But once it's on the gram, or once it's on the snap, or once it's on Facebook, it's out there for everybody to see. And I think it make a petty person become more petty, and it make a person that's not petty feel some type of way, and then it makes more people, hype men and battery packers, call that person and gas them up even more, which then makes it hard for the friendship to ever sustain itself or ever come back.
I mean, yeah, but really, if you think about it, if you do it on social media and if you do it in person, people are still going to know about it. If you sitting there having a conversation with your friend and y'all have a disagreement, if there's not people around, that person is going to go back and tell their friends, and their friend going to tell their friend. Then next thing you know, half the school know that y'all beefing, and then they coming to you saying they said something. Really, they didn't say it.
But that can be worked out. Once it's out there on the gram for everybody to see it, or once it's out there, you know, somebody posted, or somebody, even if you deleted it, but they already took a picture of it, it's harder to you know, downplay it. If me and you got an issue, we could probably resolve it, even if everybody else know. Like, you still my girl. Once it get taken away and everybody else run with it, now the lines of communication get weird, because now you got people that don't care about y'all, or that don't have y'all best interests in mind, that's running with it because they ain't want to see y'all homies anyway. So they running with it and just got you mad in your feelings over some stuff that wasn't even really that big, or that really you couldn't come back from. Shouts out to Drake, y'all. He said, isn't it amazing how we talk all this shit, but we still lack communication? But another question I want to ask you is, in this era of like body shaming and, you know, low self-esteem and people going on using social media as a way to bully people. How do we stop that? And what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I don't think you can stop it. There's always going to be those people with that mindset.
Suckers. Suckers.
It's always going to be people with that mindset of, because you look different than me or because you're a different size than me, then you're below me. When that's not the case. And that's why I have my Instagram, to teach people that are of a bigger size that it's okay to be that size and you're beautiful no matter what.
No doubt. And so you know, to dive a little further into the social media thing, also it's these dating sites, right? Like it's these dating sites, and you're a young, beautiful woman that you got these Plenty of Fishes, and you got the Christian.com, and I don't know, all Tinder. What do you think about women of your age, or just people in general, going on there to find love and find dates? Or is it really just a cesspool for STDs and domestic abuse?
I don't think it's a safe way to go about dating, because you don't necessarily know that person. Y'all can be conversating for a long time. You don't really know who they are, and then y'all meet up and they somebody totally different. But people still do it anyway. I think people at my school, they do Tinder to like meet new people at the school anyway. But some people, they do it for different reasons. So
I mean, but you know what I feel about all that stuff is it take away the butterflies in your stomach when, you know, we got to the nitty gritty already just over text or over you inboxing me. It take away from that feeling. See, I came up in a time where you had to get on the phone with a girl and be awkward and not have nothing to talk about, but you sit on the phone for an hour just saying, yeah, what you doing? Nah, what you doing? For real? Straight, hold on, my mama calling me. And it forced you to have to, you know, learn how to be social, learn how to be sociable. And I feel like sometimes with this social media, though it was created in an attempt to bring everyone together, all it did was make the world more cold and make the world more distant, so to say, but direct. Like, do you feel the same, or do you feel like it's serving its purpose with you as a young woman that came up in that era? Or do you just not even know any different?
I mean, I think with Tinder and with all the other dating sites, even
well, social media in general.
Well, yeah, like you can meet someone over social media and y'all can still go through like what basically you describing as the cupcake phase when y'all on the phone all day and all this stuff. You can still go through that phase, it's just that you don't really know necessarily that person in person yet. You're just going through this phase of the not knowing.
And another thing I'm concerned with is the usage of the social media. Like, how I see people on, like, they can't even make a move without posting something or checking it. Like, is social media addiction real? Because I think so. Because I see people, I'm watching YouTube clips of people falling in fountains, off stairs, because they that much in their phone. And the one thing I know that most people in their phone that hard over is either posting, liking, or looking at some form of social media. Because the things I look at, and first off, people, and let me say this, I'm not hating on social media. Everything ain't for everybody. I ain't one of these older dudes that's sitting around just judging. I'm just trying to gain some insight, and I'm trying to get people some insight. Do you think some people have an addiction problem with it? And when should you monitor yourself and say, you know what, let me detox off of this social media for a while?
I don't think it's a necessarily like a addiction. I do think it's a problem because I think it's the phones. I don't even think it's mostly just social media. Like, you can be looking at your phone, you can be texting somebody. It don't even have to be social media. But I think you need to get away from it when you realize that it's starting to affect your mental health, your physical health, and your overall life. Like, if you can't do your work without having to check a post every time you get done doing a math question or something, then I think it needs to be cut off for a little bit. Because even I can go on a social media cleanse, as people call it, and not be on social media for about a month and be totally fine. But there's some people who, because they've constantly been on it, they can't be on that cleanse.
And I mean, it's definitely, I see people that live their life based on, you know, the opinions of social media. And I've always been a proponent of I don't care what nobody think about me or how they feel about me. And that's maybe one of the reasons I never got involved in it. But I know that a lot of people feel validated when they get the likes and when they get the inbox that say, "Oh, you look cute, girl," or whatever emojis and everything like that. But do you feel validated when you get those things, or do you even consider this to be real life, or is it just mimicking something that's movie-ish?
I think, well, with me it's 50-50. Like, sometimes, like, if you see those comments, of course, they're going to make you somewhat feel good about yourself. Like, oh, like, this person thinks blah, 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 whether it's a guy or a girl. But I think that some people, like, that's how they live their life. Like, if people on social media, they're not liking they posts or they're not commenting, like, oh, you're so beautiful and stuff like that, then they have low self-esteem. So that's where they get their self-esteem from.
So to wrap this whole thing up, what is your advice to people that may be addicted to social media or may live their whole lives through social media? Because what I see a lot of people that is doing everything on social media and ain't really living life. You know, you go out of town, you ain't really having a good time, but you're going to post a snap of you by the water, but you ain't getting the water. You went to a restaurant and you took a picture of my plate, but you don't even eat this stuff. But you wanted to post it for the gram. You took the picture. You ain't even at that restaurant, but you took a picture of that sign outside that restaurant because you wanted to post it on the gram to look like you was doing bigger and better things than you really are. See, I understand, how people do it, but, sometimes people put stuff on there and you could be having the worst day of your life. And then I've had people say, oh man, such and such living good. And I'm just trying to get on their level. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to get on their level like that. All the while, they ain't really living that good. It's really just a facade, but they want to show well for the gram. Because, see, I ain't never seen nobody post nothing bad. I mean, I ain't never seen nobody post their dirty table or they filthy shoes or they nasty-ass bathtub on the gram. But they'll post everything else that look luxurious and glorious on there and have people, misleading people into believing that this is really life. What's your thoughts on that? And do you do the same thing?
I don't.
Filter queen right here, y'all. Filter queen.
No, actually.
Everybody got a filter. When you see the shorty in real life, she looks nothing like that. When you see homeboy in real life, he ain't even got dark brown skin. When you see shorty, she weigh 110 pounds and you thought she was 135. And she ain't got no backside the way she showed in the picture. And all I'm saying is beware, pay attention to what's going on out here, try to engage in real conversation, and don't let social media dictate how you move in your life. Jay Boogie, what you think? Get the people some parting words on your experiences in social media.
What I've learned because I've been on social media for a long time. So what I've learned from the past years is that everything is fake on social media.
No doubt.
Everybody, like you said, using filters, everybody posting like themselves happy when behind the scenes they're really not, but that's what they want to show people. And then the people that's looking at it, they like, oh, because they look like this or because they live in a life like this, I'm about to go do the same thing. So basically you have to go live your life the same way somebody who's faking the way they live in to show you. And you falling for it. So just remember that social media is fake. So don't believe everything that you see on there. And don't try to reevaluate your life or redo your life in general just to be like them people that's on social media. Because they not really living like that.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it from my baby girl right here. She telling y'all the real from a 19-year-old perspective. I want to thank her for being on here. Thank her for taking the time out of her busy schedule. They don't like rocking with the old folks after they get a certain age, y'all. So I'm just thankful to have this type of relationship with my daughter, want to be on my show and don't think it's corny or don't think it's uncool and don't want to do it. So I want to say mad love to my baby girl Way for doing the show. And I want to move on by going into my song of the week. So my song of the week, man, I was going over it in my mind. And my song of the week is by a group called, well, it ain't a group. It's two guys, Spado and Ab Lava, and I've been so inspired. I've been listening to this album for the last month or so. but the song is Glory. Anybody that ain't heard it, go check it out. The album is incredible. They ain't really the mainstream guys, but when you see their faces, you're probably familiar with them if you're a hip-hop type of guy. And my quote of the week is, sometimes you got to ask for forgiveness instead of permission. Now, a lot of people can take that in a bunch of different ways, but I like for you to move towards more of the positive way than the negative way. So that's my quote of the week, y'all. And my legend of the week is a very near and dear special woman to me. We're on the cusp of her birthday. Her birthday is Monday. So I want to send a very, very special happy birthday to my grandmother. Now, my grandmother is my legend of the week. Like most grandmothers, they great and you love them. But I want to go into detail about why my grandmother is my legend of the week. On top of doing all the normal things that grandmothers do, and to the 10th power, because she's a wonderful woman and a wonderful grandmother to all of her grandchildren, but especially me. I'm the oldest. So she epitomized femininity, epitomized classy lady, epitomized just my imagery of what I thought a woman should be. Claire Huxtable before Claire Huxtable. Beautiful dark-skinned woman who carried herself with nothing but the utmost. She was a teacher for a lot of years, and even in the midst of that struggle of being a teacher, which is very hard, she still maintained the classy persona. And this wasn't an act, y'all. This is just who my grandmother was. I didn't know what high thread count sheets was, but she always just had a taste for the finer things. And as I got older, I appreciated and understood, those things. Always had a kind word. Always has a kind word. Always has a smile on her face. She raised 3 sons and a daughter and a husband. She's been married for 60 years, and she still maintained her own individuality as a wonderful, strong, proud black woman who was a pillar in the community for positivity and being a great mother and a grandmother. So my legend of the week is none other than my grandmother. Mama is what I call her. I love you dearly. Thank you so much for all the years of sweet potato pie, chocolate tart, jambalaya, you name it. The best cook I know. Alabama bred, but Chicago based. I like to say your recipes and your style and class has impacted not just your family, but thousands of people you've come in contact with. I love you, Mama, dearly. My legend of the week, my grandmother. So to conclude this show, y'all, I want to say thank y'all for listening. Please continue to support. I also want to send a special shout out to my cousin Sherry. I love you. Thank you for the words. And I just want you to continue on doing what you do. Thank you for being you. Thank y'all. I'll see y'all next week. And as the saying goes, everybody who knows, knows. Y'all stay up.